Morning, guys. Today we are going to cover the 13th page of the chapter. So, as usual for newcomers, I'll do a quick recap of the entire process and then we'll move on to the actual drawing. So, the way I like to panel my pages is that I like to go page by page and draw a very rough draft of the entire chapter, mostly to get an idea of the pacing and make sure all the panels are spaced evenly. And then what I like to do is add a second layer. So I do a second draft. Here the characters are starting to come alive. We get a better sense of the environment. And then we can go ahead and add the text and the panels. And now we're going to move on onto the third phase, which is the last draft, where we're going to do everything slightly more detailed before moving on to the main outline, which would be the equivalent of the inking phase in traditional manga. So yeah, so today we're only going to cover the first panel as usual. So it could be interesting because we are also going to cover action lines and quite a bit of anatomy. So I'm going to go ahead and see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys. So I just finished the last draft, and I also added the outline for the speech bubble and the action lines. And now we're going to move on to the next phase, which is the main outline. First, maybe something I might comment on is my references. What I like to use for anatomy is those books here, which are um, something my grandfather gave me, which are like anatomy drawing books, for example, which can be pretty useful, generally speaking. So, especially when you're not very familiar with some angles, there's some very good references. You can also Google those; they're everywhere. But yeah, so now we're going to move on to the outline and see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys. So we just finished the outline, and now we are going to move on to the shading. So see you guys in a bit then. Hey guys, so we finished the panel for today. Spent quite some time on the shading. This was an extensive one, and yeah, I might add some screen tones, but I'll see this later. So that will be all for today, and see you tomorrow. Bye.